Welcome to Behind the Smoke Podcast, Barbecue War Stories. My name is Shawn Walchef with Cali Comfort Barbecue. We are recording above the butcher shop in beautiful Spring Valley with my main man, Derek Marceau from Valley Farm Market. Are you feeling any better?
I am feeling better, absolutely. I mean, I don't know if I could have got any worse. Pneumonia is something that I have a personality where I'll push through anything. And any type of sickness, any type of anything, I don't understand when people call out sick. I don't understand when people don't push through things. I'll have a fever and I'll go for a run. I'll, try to break that fever. I do those things. And with pneumonia, what I learned is that the harder you push to try to do that, the more you get knocked down. And so I was continually trying to push. And then when the temperature got up to, 105, figured I had to do something. I wasn't beating this. And I got set down. My wife got it, unfortunately. So we have two parents of three kids trying to wrangle them in. And, I can't make this stuff up. The amount of sickness that's gone through our house with the flu and the colds and the past 2 weeks. And last night we kind of felt like we were getting a little bit better with our youngest. He's had the flu for 4 days, and we felt like, okay, this is probably the last of it. And last night we got our two older ones came in the room at like midnight, both just projectile vomiting everywhere. And so we were up from midnight to 3 trying to get them calmed down. And my wife's just such a trooper, and just getting all the clothes and the laundry and getting their beds, the puke out of the beds and all that stuff. Woke up this morning and we're the middle one, Decker, seemed to be good. And Dalton was just cranky, so we hope to. She kept all 3 kids home with pneumonia herself. It's not. I mean, people are probably listening like, why the fuck is she watching 3 kids with pneumonia? It's not contagious anymore. The amount of shots and medicine that we got, it's not contagious. So she's got all 3 kids home, and probably after this podcast, I will probably take a trip home to help her out. And then I think tomorrow, God willing, we will be on the mend, man, because like I said, I can't make this shit up. The amount of sickness that's gone through our house is it's not fun, but here we are.
Well, I mean, having known you for 10 years, I mean, we both kind of have the same mentality, and I won't even say that I'm sick, even if I basically have all the symptoms of sickness, because I feel it's just like a mental weakness to admit that I'm sick.
Sure.
And I just can't, not seeing you, knowing that you couldn't make it to a manager meeting or make it to a workout, and seeing you push through everything in the last 10 years. I mean, it's basically kind of like pneumonia seems to be the kryptonite to Superman. I mean, the harder you push, I mean, I couldn't think of anything that's worse, and seeing that, knowing that my wife, Rosie, she's pregnant and I have a small son, I'm starting to get a couple symptoms, and I'm just like, I can't continue to do how I've always done it, and that's just push through it. Pretend like nothing's wrong because of what's happened to you.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I did. I always have, even for the past 4 years, even with my kids, I still push through. It was just this one, for whatever reason, we got that pneumonia, and I've had walking pneumonia before, and it was rough. But having the full Monty, I mean, it's just a completely different.
You like to get in full Monty, but not like that.
Yeah, it was just a completely different animal. I've never, you feel like you're drowning. You literally feel like you're drowning. And, sorry for all the listeners who have to hear about some bullshit sickness, but...
Well, sickness is a thing. I mean, having, run the restaurant, you have staff here at Valley Farm. And like you said, that's, when you're sick, you need to do what you need to do to take care of yourself so you can get back better. Yeah. For those of you tuning into the podcast for the first time, this is going to be episode 89. We publish an episode every Friday, and we try to talk about the things that happen in business that typically aren't discussed in business school. We started this podcast journey about a year and a half ago, and we've been fortunate to have all different kinds of entrepreneurs on, different business owners, different restaurant owners, people that want to start a barbecue catering business, people in sports media. And I mean, basically, we just want to have a conversation with people that we admire, people that are doing something cool and different, unique in 2019. And selfishly, I've learned a lot from all of our guests, and hopefully, at least from the feedback that we get, we're grateful for those people that have been following us the whole time. It's been quite a ride for us, and today is awesome, so cool. I mean, we basically started this behind the smoke media journey to become our own media team, so that we could pick and choose what we wanted to cover, and it's very rare that I'm able to get a press release that's so personal, because I just got this press release for a local San Diego business that will air on Shark Tank this week. So if you're listening to this podcast on a Friday, January 20th, 9 p.m. Pacific, ABC Shark Tank. I know everyone is familiar with the show, especially if you love business and if you're passionate about business. But today we get to have the founders on, Iskra and Brian of Angel Shave Club. We're going to let them introduce kind of who they are and what they do. Iskra actually is Bulgarian born. She is my wife's best friend. There's a group, a 5-pack of Bulgarian wolfettes that I met back in the day, and to
you
watch
snatched
her,
one of them.
I snatched one of them, correct. To have her and her husband work so hard to try to build a company, and then to get the national recognition that they did to get on Shark Tank, share their story with our Behind the Smoke guests. We're honored to have you. Welcome to Behind the Smoke.
Thank you, Shawn. It's a great honor to be here. This is our very first podcast ever, although Shark Tank is the biggest thing we've ever done, really, ever.
Nice.
As people, and then as a business. But this is awesome, because this is a lot more intimate. I feel like we're amongst friends and family, and it's a whole different experience.
Yeah.
First podcast ever. It'll be just, I think it's going to be just great.
Is Derek the scariest shark
He's a
you've
little
ever seen?
scary.
Yeah.
He's scarier than
You thought
any
Mark
of the
Cuban
sharks
was
on-
bad.
Yeah, no, Derek beats Mark Cuban by
For sure.
a
Yeah,
long shot.
I've always said, I'm not kidding. God, like right when Shark Tank came out, it must have been 10 years ago when it came out, maybe 15. I don't
Yeah,
know.
season 10.
It's season 10 right now.
Yeah,
Oh, are
season
they?
10.
Yeah. So I'm like, one of my goals is to be a shark at some point.
Yeah.
I'm not
You know,
kidding.
me
Really?
too.
I didn't
I'm
know
not
that.
Me
kidding.
too.
Yeah.
They do have guest judges.
Yeah.
So
Absolutely.
Guest
people that come in,
investors, I guess.
After after we did, that was one of the things I got out of this, is like, I want to be on the other side.
Right.
Like
Yeah.
I really do want to be on the other side. I want to do the best that we can with this business and blow it up and make it, take it to its full potential.
Well, speaking about your business, why don't we dive into it? What,
Yeah.
what
Yeah,
do you guys
sure.
got? What do you guys got here?
We got the first shave club that's geared and designed for women. This is just kind of very basic, kind of in a nutshell, what we are. When you first look at us, we modeled ourselves after a business model that has been going around for a while now, and it's proven to be very successful. Dollar Shave Club paved the road. They paved it for men.
Right.
They try to pivot a little bit by saying, "Oh, we are unisex." Well, women don't necessarily feel that way.
Right.
A guy's blade is a guy's blade. A guy's voice in a brand is a guy's voice in a brand. The brand talks directly to guys. Women talk about different things. And we are concerned with different issues.
Oh, so
we,
you shave different parts?
we shave different parts. We have a larger square footage to shave.
Yeah,
Right.
So
they may not shave as often, but they have a lot more square footage.
exactly.
Right.
So there's a lot of big differences. It's not just the pink razor and all that.
Can you
So-
tell us about the aha moment for Angel Shave Club?
Yeah, sure. The aha moment was in the shower.
like all good ideas,
all
either
good
on the
ideas.
toilet or in the shower.
Yeah,
There you
it
go.
was, for me, it was in the shower. And it was when I had got Brian a Dollar Shave Club subscription for his birthday, and he got me an extra handle just because he knows how much I actually spend on razors.
Right.
He's like, "You're just insane. You're not doing that anymore. Here, shave with my razor." And I know that happens to most couples,
Sure.
because razors are super expensive, and women's razors are actually 13% more than men's.
Are they really?
Wow.
Absolutely, yeah, it is. The pink tax is real.
Is it like, is it
The pink tax?
a
Is that what we
lubricant that
call
they
it?
use that's more expensive, or is
It's
it just, is it the same exact razor, just costs
It's
more?
the exact same razor. It just costs more because it's painted pink, and that doesn't cost anything. However, women are the driving force when it comes to shopping, and online especially. So companies very often take advantage of that because they know that we're the ones doing the shopping, we're the ones buying.
Sure.
So we'll just charge more. It's literally, the pink tax goes as far as, depends for elderly people. The same exact product.
Diaper.
Yes. Adult diaper. One's labeled for men, one's labeled for women. The women's one is more expensive than the men's.
Wow.
The pink tax is real, and razors are one of those products, and there's dry cleaning is one of those products as well.
To actually bring some facts to that, though, there was actually a study in New York in 2015, and that's how you get the statistics that women are charged 13% more for razors. Dry cleaning, women spend more. They'll have a smaller shirt, but it'll cost 2 to 3 times more than just a guy with having a polo dry clean. So,
Wow.
And I noticed that because I bring her clothes in, and I try and convince them it's a man's shirt sometimes.
Right.
And, but they
Sometimes
figure
it
it out.
flies,
Sometimes
not
it works,
always.
sometimes it doesn't.
Right.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
So that's so what happened really was I was looking at the 2 razors. I think I was just having a little fit, maybe, of some sort. And I'm like, this sucks. Like, which one's my razor? I don't know, because they're exactly the same. Why should I have to, do this and try and figure it out when I'm like, there's no way, there's not something like this for women.
Yeah.
Women are the driving force in the online market, shopping market, and in general, shopping market. Did a little bit of digging, a little bit of research. There was nothing. I just couldn't believe it. So Brian, he has such an entrepreneurial mind. He will always find an opportunity in every single thing. So I'm like, hey, what do you think about that? He did have the idea of Dollar Shave Club, I think in like 2011.
Oh, yeah.
There's one witness to that. Yeah, one of his friends is a witness to that. I think that at the time, it just seemed like a whole lot of work. And now
Is it a whole lot of work?
It's a whole lot of work.
Well, I had another
Go
business at the
figure.
time, so when I thought of the idea, it was actually before Dollar Shave Club even existed,
Yeah.
and I started researching it, and so I had a roommate at the time, and we were talking, he's like, wasn't that your idea before Dollar Shave
Yeah.
Club? And I said, yes, but timing wasn't right. I had another business going on at the same time, and
Sure.
So when I went up to him and I'm like, hey, how hard would it be to do this for women, for like all women?
Yeah.
He's like, well, let's see. So we started digging a little bit. We found a manufacturer. We started crunching numbers. It was really it was a very exciting conversation.
Yeah.
It was a conversation from a place of possibility. And I feel like those are the ones that really kind of push you into taking a huge leap and doing something very big. So I think it was a moment of huge excitement and kind of like, oh my God, this is a great opportunity to do so many great things and have a great business. Really, we were looking for something to do. And he's like, yeah, let's get cracking. Let's do some designs. He's a graphic designer. He's the one that designed our website from start to finish, everything.
Nice.
With me kind of like in the back, do it more pink,
Right.
more pink, more pink.
Well, being a guy, it's difficult to get the color schemes and all the boxes I designed.
The
and,
different hues of pink
yes.
and all
Yeah,
that stuff.
so I guess, we are a woman-owned, women-run company, women for women, and we believe in women empowerment. We talk about women's issues. We support women's companies and nonprofit
awesome.
organizations. But at the same time, we don't want to villainize men in any way, shape, or form, or the male versions of our Shave Club, because it is what paved the way for us to exist.
Sure.
It is what, is giving us a platform to have even a conversation about that and open up to people and tell them, hey, this stuff is real. And now you actually have options. Women now have options. They don't have to be an afterthought of a men's product, a men's company, a men's voice. Because when you look at Dollar Shave Club's products, everything about it is like very, very masculine.
Sure,
The
it's dark,
conversations,
it's-
the conversations that they have in their newsletter and their booklets that they send out, completely 100% directed to men.
Right.
To say that this is a unisex and women, we're supporting women, stuff like that, it's a little not fair because we don't really care about, the stuff that we don't want to read about pooping and farting,
Right.
when
they talk about erectile dysfunction.
Yeah, and
I
they're-
don't know what woman cares about that.
Yeah,
Unless
like
it's her man, I guess.
at some point the conversation, I mean, out of curiosity, you might look over it, but it's nothing that speaks to us.
when you're speaking when you're speaking a language that people hear and your tone of voice that you want to hear, it resonates with you, and it resonates with you in a way that compels you to action, which is why brands that we love are like, hey, that's a funny, I love that marketing piece, and it's memorable. It's memorable because you are listening to it. And for all the different brands that are out there, I mean, you can't be everything to everybody.
No.
You have to be true to yourself, and the more that you are true to yourself, the better off your brand is.
Totally.
So can we dive into the, I don't know how far we can get into it, but are you guys in market yet? Have you guys sold, or is it subscription based? I would imagine, right? Have you guys started? And you guys have started it and done stuff and have sales? And
we started in 2016, officially launched on March 26th of 2016. So we've been in business for almost 3 years now.
Okay.
We have great track record. We started actually out of our spare bedroom.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
In Mission Beach, actually. And we outgrew that in 1 month.
Wow.
1 month, and our sales were big enough to where we could actually move to a smaller warehouse, have a little bit of a bigger operation. We, in the beginning, actually, it was just the two of us. Now we have a full team of people that support us, that, are surrounding us and are kind of looking in the same direction that we're looking with this business. But in the beginning, it was just the two of us.
She makes it sound so easy, but we watched seasons and seasons of TV packing boxes literally every night.
Right.
We packed all the boxes. We had to put like the labels on all our products, and the first 9 months, pretty much every single box that went out was touched by our hands.
I think there's something to be said for things like that. I truly do. I don't know who I was talking to yesterday, but I go back to the same thing that happened to me when I came into the store, and it's something that you don't get when you first start a company and you're doing things, but it's about the process, and you don't want to slate the process. It sucks at times, and but that's where your growth is.
Yeah.
And that's where you learn things. And that's when those times that you guys are sitting there watching a show, folding all these fucking boxes and putting all these stickers on, that you're like, here's how we can do this. We can expedite this process by doing this, or you can do those things. And that's an intimate little setting that you guys have,
Totally.
And for me, it's like, man, I hated when I first came in here, my dad made me clean the toilets and clean the bathrooms. But now I know every single process in my store, and there's something to be said for it. Could you have just started it up and had a lot of money and had people working right away?
Yeah.
Sure, you could have, but now you know exactly how long it takes to fold that fucking box.
Yeah.
And if your employees are saying, hey, we couldn't get it done, well, why couldn't you? You had 8 hours to do this, and you have X amount of boxes. This is how many we used to do, so we know exactly what's going on. So.
We've had those conversations actually when we first hired our first employee, which was one of the 5 Wolfpack, Eva. She was our very first employee packing boxes, because we were like,
shout out.
No way, we cannot do this anymore. And this is another thing too, when you start a bootstrap business, because we put our own money into this.
Sure.
We didn't get outside investment. We just kind of had a vision. We had a big idea. We had big passion, and we're very hardworking people.
Right.
So I think that this is, if, somebody's like, oh, what's the formula? You know what? It's really just hard work, a vision, and action.
Yeah,
That's
execution.
Dive in.
You have to dive in. You have to take that first jump and leap.
So I say there's a lot of things here. Is there a proprietary thing that you guys have that other people can't knock off? Is there something that you guys do? Like, is there something for another company to be able to come out and say, hey, we can do this too, and we're gonna do it?
So we actually about a year and a half into the business, we came up with our first shave kit box. This is a kit that is created for young girls.
Okay.
I know you guys all have boys, and
Right.
that.
I have 5
and
sisters.
you're having
I grew up with all women.
So when you were in the phase of starting to grow facial hair, I'm sure it was like a very celebrated experience, right? Like your dad showing you how to do it. It's like this important moment in a boy's life. So for when a girl that times comes and she expresses interest, hey, it's time to talk about hair removal. For some reason, there's a huge stigma around that conversation. And it's been like this for decades, or for many, many
Not
years.
just here in the United
And
States.
not just here in the United States. 4 out of 5 of us have a horrible first-time shaving experience story. And that's how it is for most women, because first of all, it's a taboo conversation.
Right.
Then there's you're too young. There's so many things
usually,
that
like,
surround
most
it.
pressure
times
happens in school.
Well, most
right?
times you don't even do it with anybody. You
Yeah.
do it
Yeah.
by yourself
Yeah,
because you're
because
scared to say it, and
you're
you know
scared-
the answer is going to be no. You can't shave it. You're
Exactly.
too young. So well, then fuck it. There's a razor in this
Exactly,
bathroom right now.
and this is
Let's
when
go.
the horror stories begin,
You
because
steal your brothers, your dad.
you steal your
Right.
brothers, yeah, and then you get a gnarly cut. You have to get stitches. You're traumatized for the rest of your life. You hate shaving,
Right.
and it is one of those experiences. You kind of have to do it for the rest of your life. You don't. You don't have to.
Sure.
But most women do.
Please do.
So yeah, exactly.
Please do.
Please,
Please
if I-
do.
yes, please.
Please do.
So
shave.
whatever form of hair removal, I think this is a conversation that should be had with young girls, especially if they're expressing the interest. Whatever your own personal feelings and opinions about that is, you should always be in the position of a listener when you're talking to your children about that, because there has to be a deeper reason for it. Bullying.
Because if
is-
you ignore it, it's going to come up.
It's gonna
it
come
will
up,
come up
and
in
it-
school,
it's
and it'll probably be either
worse.
boys making fun of you or girls making fun of you.
most of the times when girls are actually voicing their opinions about something like that is because somebody said something to them.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
So they didn't just go like, oh, I have hair, it's bothering me. No, it's most likely somebody else is bothering them.
Sure.
And that's how it goes. So we're like, hey, we want to kind of start talking about breaking that stigma and those stereotypes. For the people that don't know how to have these conversations, this box literally has everything you need from start to finish. There's conversations in our pamphlet that you can have with your daughter. There's steps of the do's and don'ts. Very kind of fun and easygoing way of talking about something that can be actually very traumatizing. Young girls and boys, when they're going through puberty or like the beginning of it, it's already a stressful enough time for them.
Right.
There's so much they have to figure out in their lives. They shouldn't have to worry about having such a simple conversation as hair removal.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So we're trying to make it easy and simple, and we are the first shave business in general, not just online shave club, that has started this conversation.
Well, that's good.
We do have a patent pending on it.
Cool.
Not patent pending, but
Copyright.
copyright on it. So they can try.
That's really
Right.
exciting. That's really exciting. It's exciting
can
that
try.
you're addressing an uncomfortable conversation that has to do with, growing up. But
Yeah.
growing up, and you're creating a special moment for a mother and a daughter, or even a father and a daughter.
Absolutely, 100%.
Or
We don't.
guardian.
Yeah, we don't
Yeah,
want to
or a
leave.
guardian,
we don't
absolutely.
want to leave men out of this conversation.
Well, I mean, a lot of guys are manscaping, doing a bunch of stuff now too. Yeah. Absolutely.
And I met the guys in the face of fathers and
Oh.
daughters. There shouldn't be, like I said, there's so many things that are already happening in the kid's life. This should be an easy, fun conversation and a kind of like a new bonding experience in general. So there's a bigger conversation behind that too, about what men should be doing, what women should be doing, all that kind of separations of gender and responsibilities and stuff like that. I think that blending these responsibility into a family is like very important.
Mhm.
And just saying, oh, you're a woman, so you should teach our daughter
Right.
to shave. No, if your daughter came to you as a father,
Absolutely.
you should have that conversation with her. You shouldn't pass her along. Hey, yeah, go talk to your mom. I don't
Or
want to talk
no,
about it.
I don't want you to shave because this means X, Y, Z about you if you shave.
Yes.
Because then that also
And
creates something in her
it
head.
also helps them build confidence at a
Sure.
very young age. Hey, I have an opinion. This is what I feel about my body.
Yeah.
Sure.
And I am allowed to make that decision. I think that this is so important for any girl to have. And it could be shaving, it could be anything else,
I agree.
But-
It's really, really important too. And what you're talking about with the fathers, I have one of my best friends whose wife passed away, and he's got a beautiful little daughter. And at some point, those uncomfortable, things are going to come up
Yeah.
where he needs to talk to her, and to have a segue where he can buy a kit and express, and where it was going to be a very uncomfortable
Yeah.
for him. Maybe now he can say, okay, well, here's the steps, here's what we can do, and here's how we can do it. I mean, you're really helping people out like that. That's awesome.
it is empowering to parents too.
We even
I do
talked
think,
about
yeah.
mothers or fathers or whatever could get together with other parents and create like a shaving party to where it's a fun, exciting thing.
Yeah.
Where they send out invites and they teach all the girls how to shave, because we've kind of found out that sometimes
And
that
normalize the
even mothers don't know how
conversation.
to shave correctly. They use soap instead of, which is really drying to the skin. So we want to really have their first experience be a win.
Yeah.
If they actually choose to shave, but that should be the conversation that they have with their parents, because
Absolutely.
maybe they don't want to
Please
shave,
shave.
and then that's
Yeah.
completely fine
Please
as well.
Please shave. Please
So
shave.
yeah, this is our most proprietary kind of product, but it does tie in with our Shave Club, obviously, because I do think it's a battle of the brands at this point with all the Shave Clubs, and all that. And I think that our brand's voice can be loud and
Sure.
clear and really can resonate with a lot of people, because a razor is a razor. You can pick and choose. There's plenty out there, if money is not an issue, maybe you have your preferences, and that's totally fine. But where we stand and we try to make a difference, it's in the conversations that we're having.
What does it cost me?
So it's the subscription is $9 a month. Currently it's billed bi-monthly or quarterly, depending on whatever you choose when you first sign up. Very soon, by the end of the week, actually, or not by the end of the week, by the end of the first quarter, we're going to be switching that over to now people are going to have the option to choose every month,
Okay.
which is kind of like the original idea.
But you got that based off of feedback, correct?
We got that based off of feedback and based off of everything that we've learned over the last almost 3 years.
Okay.
We created a business model that worked for the time being, and like every business, it evolves.
Sure.
If you stayed the same, nothing's ever going to change and nothing's ever going to grow. So I think that we are in that stage where we're readjusting. Now we know what works and what doesn't at this stage, and we're readjusting it.
Sure.
So yeah.
Yeah, I think we had Brian Smith, the founder of UGG, on the podcast last year, and he wrote a book called The Birth of a Brand, and he talks about comparing adulthood, the stages of a company is a toddler, and then you become a teenager, and
Totally.
all these different things that you experience are different as you grow your company. Why Shark Tank, and when did you want to be on Shark Tank?
I think that it was in the first conversation we had about the Shave Club. I think we had we can be on Shark Tank, and we just kind of created this possibility that, hey, when we start this business, why not try everything? So kind of what Derek said earlier. Yeah, if you had millions of dollars, your story would have been different and your business would have been different, which is how, a lot of these shave clubs started.
Right.
Harry started with huge funding out front.
And they bought a $100 million factory their first year in business.
Yeah,
I
so
mean,
their
that's
business,
a lot of money to raise.
Sure.
Right.
their business model, their beginning is very different than ours. So we had to have different conversations that what I imagine they had in the beginning, and we had to get super creative and see what we can do to grow our business. So Shark Tank was, and we love the show.
Okay,
We're
so
huge
you guys
fans of the
your
show.
company started in 2016?
Yeah.
2016, yeah.
How many times have you applied to be on Shark Tank?
3 times we
And you've
applied to
been
be
your
on
3-year-old
Shark Tank.
company?
Yeah, basically every season we applied.
Every season since
I
we
would
had the
sneak
business.
on her computer and pretty much send an email.
I gotta tell you, when you first, this is the first business for me that I've been so hands-on. Brian has experience of being an entrepreneur and owning businesses and running them and selling them and, all that. For me, this is all new. So there was, when you start your own business, there's so much you're confronted with on a personal level and so much you have to overcome, the stories that you keep rotating in your mind,
Sure.
am I good enough? I'm not good enough. Or, why would anybody buy that? All of these things are real. And they happen in your head.
Absolutely.
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 And
So you
on top
have-
of that, when you have the customer service emails coming in, and
And
as
they're
well,
not
owning a
always
business,
beautiful.
I've
the
gotten
only
a
people
couple
don't
of
want to
those.
tell you about your product are the people that are upset.
Sure.
So getting emails, and when you're that close to the product and people are telling you you should shut your business down, we hate your company and things like that.
Yeah, that's a reality.
And then you get one good comment, you're like, oh, okay,
Yeah.
I'm back in.
And you hold on to that
Oh,
for
absolutely.
dear life. But
Sure.
yeah, so, he had to sneak behind my back because, although we had that conversation, what kind of push came to shove, he's like, yeah, let's do this. I was like, yeah, I don't know. Maybe we can do this. Maybe we can do something else instead.
Right.
I was avoiding it, with all of my being.
Yeah.
And I didn't want to do it. The first 2 times we did it, how you send audition videos and stuff like that. It was just me. Brian was like, you have to do it, you know, and you'll be fine. And I have major like anxiety when it comes to like, I see a camera and I forget what it means to speak.
Right.
And like be normal. Just like, I don't know, have a phobia of cameras. Not anymore. Shark Tank kind of gets that out of your system a little bit. But the first 2 times it sucked, man. Like I watched it the first time and I'm like, you send it if you want. I don't want to see it.
I think the first one, it was one of those things where you were like, it's not very good, but
we're gonna
it's all
do it
we
anyway.
have, so send it in. Send the video
we're gonna
in.
do it.
We just hope.
And it's authentic too.
And it was
there's something to be
authentic. The
said
second
for that.
time we did it, it was just me again. We sent it in, nothing happened. And then the third time, when he applied it. He didn't even tell me the third time, because after the second time, that was like
no more. I don't want to ever apply again.
I took it so
enough.
personal. I'm like, this is a personal fail. Like I'm failing the business, you know, that they didn't choose because of me. So it was all of that, you know, beautiful stuff happening. But, you know, the third time, we're like, you know what? If we're going to do this, we're going to do it right and we're going to do it together because we're in this together. Yeah. And I'm like, if I'm going to be uncomfortable, then you're going to be uncomfortable too. Because he hates being in front of a camera just as much as I do.
Sure.
Maybe even more. And, you know, we did it. We sent it in. And, you know, a little while after, we heard back. And
she was shocked when they called her.
When they called, I'm like, oh my God. Like, I didn't know what to do with myself.
Right.
I didn't know what happened. And then, you know, you film after a while, you know, whatever happens. And then you just wait.
Yeah.
You just wait and see.
45,000 people, according to this CNBC article, apply to get on there. 45,000 companies try to get on.
How many get on a year?
Less than 1%.
Yeah.
It's basically 250 per...
150, I think it
Yeah,
was. I can't remember.
So
150.
450 is
that's how many. So less than 1% of those actually get to pitch to the sharks.
Yeah.
Oh.
But then even less of that actually appear on the show.
Correct.
Just because you pitch.
So just because you pitch doesn't mean that you're going to
So
appear on the
if
show.
you go up and do your spiel and you get a deal or no deal, and it's not always aired.
No.
Doesn't matter. You
Doesn't
can get
matter.
a deal and not air. You cannot get a deal and air. You can, you know, anything can happen.
So
really.
you're airing.
You really don't know.
5 days.
Yeah.
Yeah, when
That's
this
pretty
podcast
rad.
when this podcast drops, two days, that's Sunday night.
Yeah.
There's no Sunday night football or after Sunday night football.
I'm glad it's after Sunday night football because
Shark
I do
Tank,
not want to compete
San
with
Diego
NFL.
business. No,
Yeah.
that's
That's
amazing.
funny. I don't watch TV. I don't.
We don't either.
Yeah, we don't. There's nothing.
We watch our Shark Tank on Netflix or...
Yeah.
Hulu or whatever.
But I used to watch Shark Tank all the time, and it's still TiVo's on my.
Yeah.
So I'll occasionally watch a Shark Tank. So it would have been even cooler, you know, if I would have just saw you guys because I know you guys. Yeah.
Well, for some people, that's actually going to be a reality because we haven't really. I mean, we've told most of our friends.
You're sworn to secrecy. I mean,
Yeah, we're sworn to secrecy, but I think the second person or the first person that I called was actually Rosie, your wife, when we got the news.
She loves Shark Tank. She hasn't missed an episode since she's been in the United States.
It's really great to have like so many cheerleaders in the face of our friends and, you know, family because it's a big deal, you know,
It's a huge deal.
And we want to share that with our friends.
There's
and
anywhere
family.
from 7 to 12 million, depending on which report you're reading, that are watching the show or that will see the show.
Yeah.
And there's multiple articles published about the Shark Tank effect. Even the people that don't close deals, because you are on Shark Tank.
What's exposure?
That many people are going to see you. I mean, The Ring is a classic example. The Ring is the camera that goes. I mean, it's gotten so much coverage, but it's the camera at the doorbell.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And Mark Cuban turned down The Ring on a deal on Shark Tank. Amazon just bought them for $1 billion.
Yeah, no big deal.
Pretty big deal.
No big deal.
Yeah, $1 billion.
$1
No
billion.
worries.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, you know, and Dollar Shave Club was bought by Unilever for $1 billion as well. So
Wow.
the market is so huge, you know, and sometimes it really is about the partnerships that you create along the way of the business, because I don't know if we would be where we are without having gotten out of our comfort zone and actually brought people in to help us from
Right.
outside, because we thought we could do everything ourselves,
Yeah, we always
you know, and we did for a while, but at some point it's just the business outgrew us.
Yeah, no, you really have to sometimes take a step back, and we talk about it a lot, but it's really, really important for people that are having businesses and growing and doing stuff. If you are the smartest person at your company at everything, you're doing something wrong.
Yeah, absolutely.
You have to hire your weaknesses. You have to do it. You have to look and say, what am I not good at? What am I, and being self-aware is something that's hard and it's scary because I think I can do everything and I think I can do everything better. Yeah. And so, it's hard to say, okay, well, actually, I don't do this very well. We need to get someone that can do this, or I can do it well, but I fucking hate it. Yeah. So let's get someone to do that wants to do that. And then you create an atmosphere within your employees that people want to do stuff and they want to come to work and they're excited about it. Yep. So in the 3 years, you guys were the first women's shave club. Yes. Are there other companies that are coming out now trying to do it?
Yeah, there is. Actually, we were a year in business, I think, when a couple of other companies, or a few other companies popped up that were literally selling the same product as us. They copied our site. They literally copied sections of our site.
Some of the question and answers, if they had a link on there and you clicked it actually came to our site.
Yeah.
That's how much they copied it word for word.
Yeah, and they copied our frequently asked questions, although they didn't apply to their business model. It was like, so we started looking. We're like, okay, well, we must be doing something right if they're copying us.
That's always
we'll take that as
the
flattery.
Sure.
But at the same time, we are aware, like it is a huge market,
sure.
and it's projected to be even bigger by 2020. So we knew we were doing something right.
I mean, it's a people market. We're talking
and
about
it's a people market, exactly.
How many people do you guys have signed up right now?
Our customer base is just over
26,000.
Yeah, 26,000.
That's awesome.
I think as of the end of the year, the end of last year. But and about a few months ago, Harry's came out with a female line. Mm-hmm. I think that they felt probably, sure, women, they're starting to talk about that. Yeah, sure, we'll throw something kind of their way. And
it's not subscription based though.
It's not subscription based, and it's kind of, it's
an afterthought to them.
It's absolutely an afterthought to them. And once again, I want to go back to, it's the battle of the brands.
Right.
At the end of the day, there's another shave club I think out there that's from the East Coast. They got funded heavily before they even started, and you can see that. Their ad spend budget. We kind of monitor them and we watch them just to see what happens. Yeah. But their voice, completely different than ours.
Well, when you're in business, no matter what, like you guys know, you're always looking at your competition. That's one of the things you do, but you don't let the competition run you.
No,
they have their voice, we have our voice, but that's just how business goes.
Yeah,
we welcome competition because I feel like the competition makes us better and our brand stronger. So it's fine.
Why Angel Shave Club?
That's a great question.
So everybody thinks it's because we're women, so it should be Angel. But
part of it is that it does have a very feminine ring to it, and that was the main goal of our shave club. We want, like the name, we wanted to mean women,
right?
And I believe that women are heavily
represented in this business.
Yeah, and but also I lost my dad when I was really young. And I always refer to him as like my guardian angel, because, I want to keep him in my life as much as I can, even though he's not physically with me. And I refer to my mom as my angel on earth,
right?
The one angel that was left with me. So that was a conversation, when we were talking about the name, and I'm like, this feels right.
Right.
It's personal, and I don't know. It felt really right.
Well, it looks awesome. I mean, the product looks awesome. I haven't tried it out on my legs yet, but I will here soon. It's something that it's pretty cool because my wife goes through a bunch of this stuff too, and it's something I personally don't shave very much, as you can see on my face. I don't.
None of you guys do.
Yeah, so it's I don't.
The bearded squad over here.
Yeah, I don't do the Dollar Shave Club or anything like that, but this is definitely something, like you said. There's just so much more square footage for women to have to shave and do that stuff, and the amount of money that's spent on that. You're helping out the women all over, so that's pretty cool to see what you guys are doing, how you're doing it, how you're going about it, and the story behind it, because there's nothing more that I like more than a story where you guys started from the bottom and started together and started on the floor in your living room folding boxes, because that's, there's a story behind that people can resonate with. And I see nothing but success in the future. It's really, really cool.
So can you tell us a little bit about advice to people that they think that maybe their company is ready to apply to try to get onto Shark Tank? Give a little advice.
You know what? If you want to do it, the information's out there. It's on the internet.
It's
just Google.
Unbelievable how much information
Just Google
Shark Tank
it
is on there.
and just do it. Really,
just apply. You actually never know how the outcome is going to be. And just remember, when you send in your video, don't be boring. Be high energy.
High energy, be fun. Remember why you're doing it. You're doing it for your business. You're doing it for something you actually believe in. You're doing it for something that you want to see grow. It has to be passion driven, because if it's not, it's just not authentic. Right. And I think that people can see that.
Oh, dude,
people can easily pick up on that.
I can feel it right away. I can feel it right away when someone's forcing something. I'm like, oh, dude, I almost get like anxiety for them.
Yeah.
Like, oh, dude, it makes me
I'm uncomfortable for you. Yeah. I feel uncomfortable for you.
Yeah.
So all there is to do is do it.
Right. It's really easy. You just apply online and you fill it out, but always submit with a video. If you're just, you don't have to. It's like
they say it's optional, but
nothing's optional.
Nothing's optional.
Just imagine if they're getting 45,000 videos or just applications
twice a year.
I mean, you're going to throw away half of them. And I guarantee they watch the first 10 seconds. If you didn't capture them in the first 10 seconds, they're literally tossing it away.
Well, I guarantee they don't give you 10 seconds either.
Incredible.
Not probably.
Because if I have to watch 45,000 videos, I mean, think of the staff you'd have to have. And I know they don't have that big of a staff to watch 45,000 videos. At least I don't think so. I don't know. I never saw, but.
So, yeah, that's the only thing I think. People just have to get over themselves and just do it. I think that when you focus on the actions that are in front of you, all the rest of the background conversations and the doubt and the fear kind of take a step back. And then that's when things start moving, and things start happening. When you just do the things that you know to do, which Google.
Sure.
Everything.
Google,
you can
ask
find
Alexa.
Ask Alexa.
Listen
like
podcasts,
you can
watch YouTube.
You can find that information anywhere, and it's very detailed. The steps are very detailed. What there is to do.
Well, I think also what's really important too, and it gets I don't want to pass over it, is that it took you guys 3 times, and it's being persistent and understanding that as personal as that rejection is, it's only going to make you stronger for your next audition. You know, we talk about sports all the time, and we talk about worrying about competition. And we had Tiger Smalls, who's a boxer. We're asking him about competition. If he's studying tape, and he has the John Wooden philosophy. And John Wooden wouldn't go and study other teams. He's like, we're going to focus on our team, and we're going to do the best we can. And whether we win or we lose, we're going to be better the next time. But we're also going to try again. And like, kudos to you guys for having that Michael Jordan persistence. That no matter what, I'm going to continue to try to get what I want to get for our business.
I got to tell you, that was all him. Like,
I've been nicknamed by our growth advisor the pain in the ass in the room.
Yeah, truly.
Because I'll contact you 30 times.
Sure.
Because I won't give up, and
he's been such a great mentor for me this whole entire time because of his experience, and I had to learn to listen really and not take things personal, because we are husband and wife, and many times in our business we had to put our relationship like just non-existent. Like our personal relationship would not exist. Right. Our marriage was just not exist because it was all about the business, and we had to put everything. So there's that to get over too. But once you start listening to the person and you kind of like, you both have the same commitment, you have the same visions, and it just works. And I've learned so much over the last 3 years with this experience that some people don't even learn their whole lives.
So
I feel so blessed.
Yeah, I know you guys can't tell me if you guys get a deal or not.
You've tried, trust me.
And I get it. But are you guys set up? Because no matter if you guys got a deal or not, you guys are going to get fucking bombarded after this exposure. Are you guys set up to handle with the infrastructure that you guys have for doubling your business? Because that's probably what's going to happen, right?
I think it's going to be more like triple or quadruple or
whatever.
something
But you
like
guys are ready.
that.
So you hired a PR company, correct?
We hired a PR company.
Because Hannah, our girl,
Yeah.
who we love, who worked for Callie and then
So
did a bunch of stuff
awesome,
for
man.
us. She's just killing it in Nashville. She's doing an amazing
Totally,
job. But
totally.
I know that you guys have a new PR firm, not because Hannah didn't
We-
do a good
yeah,
job,
no.
just because you're
Hannah
about
was
to get.
amazing. Just we need to have.
Well, they have the current PR company, Serendipit Consulting. They're out of Arizona, and they have a national coverage. They have access to bigger platforms.
Sure. Well, they have resources
bigger
too.
listen.
that
They have a
can
lot
handle
more
all the
resources.
media
So
inquiries and whatnot.
that was literally the first thing we did once we found out we're going to be on. We
Well,
literally
we had
somebody.
the press release here.
Yeah, they took care of.
rad.
They've been working so hard since the beginning of the year. We hired a new social media team too.
Great.
We already had our growth advisor on board.
Andrew Barr, great
Andrew
guy.
Barr, so he's also out of Arizona. He's so awesome. I mean, he's such a great addition. Every now and again,
That's what I want to say. If you're a business owner and you're basically like you said, I'm not the best at everything, or if you think you are, I fought tooth and nails not to bring this guy on.
absolutely.
It was the
Yeah.
best decision we ever made to bring this guy on, Andrew Barr. He's literally helped our business grow. He's connected us with so many people, and
He's also helped us as business owners, because when you're so deep into every single aspect of your business, you kind of start getting tunnel vision.
You're in
Sure.
the trees.
And you stop
You can't see the
seeing.
forest.
You can't
Yep.
see the forest. So he's so great about bringing us actually, hey guys, snap out of it, breathe. Look at the
this
big
morning,
picture.
this morning he said, "Okay, you guys, I know it's easier said than done, but breathe. Only, handle the things that can be
So
handled.
we
and
are
the things that can't, don't
set
worry."
up in a way that we could. We have the social media and PR aspect handled. We have inventory as much as we think we can handle. We hope we sell out. We hope that we're backordered. We want to be so ridiculously big, because we are also the only shave club that's ever made it on Shark Tank. So it's a big deal.
Yeah,
I
huge
want it to be so big that we sell out even with the inventory that we have now. So I want us to not be perfectly set up, in all honesty.
Right.
Well, yeah, all those. I mean, it's funny. All your systems get tested once you get media coverage, and it's kind of a good segue. Our social shout out this week is going to go to Victor Lopez of El Pollo Grill. Every week we give a social shout out to those of you that follow the podcast. He doesn't follow the podcast, but he's a business owner. He owns El Pollo Grill in Bonita. That's their handle. But he went out of his way. He's been known kind of by the anti-Charger movement as the guy that gave away Spanos Sucks tacos every time the Chargers lost. But it was a national story. He got a lot of coverage last year, got a lot of coverage recently since they lost. But Cali Comfort started getting attacked by anti-Charger fans and people telling us that we should close our business. We got the same thing last year, which we talked about early on in the podcast, but I think it hit its peak this year, and actually have Stover working on a Behind the Smoke blog to kind of detail that. But it ended up getting a New York Times article written about kind of the fans, the pro fans and the anti-fans. And really we focused with Victor and East County Eats and Kyle Whistle. Both of them have been on the podcast. We were able to raise $1,000 for Jake's projects through basically something that was a negative situation. And that $1,000 is going to go to Dave Palais in honor of his son. So something really good that came out of it. We appreciate the listeners that listen to it. Please hashtag Behind the Smoke. But more importantly, this Sunday, Shark Tank.
That's right.
Angel Shave
9 p.m.
Club.
sharp.
San Diego company. We're so excited for you guys. This is really cool to go behind the smoke before before you blow up in a good way. Check out the show notes for all their handles. Follow them, and good luck to you. We can't wait. Can't wait for Sunday.
Thank you guys
Appreciate
for
it. Thank
having
you.
us. Thank you. It's been an honor.
Hey guys, this is Shawn and Derek, and we just really want to thank you for listening to the podcast. It means the world to us. we'd like you to go check out behindthesmokemedia.com. That's our website where we have barbecue resources for you to help build your barbecue business. We also have events listed, so anything that's happening in the West Coast barbecue movement, anything that's going on, we want you to go check that out so you can learn more and get involved. We also have show notes from all the episodes, so anything we talked about in the episodes, you can find detailed show notes there. Plus, you can just get in touch with us. It's important that we're here as a resource for you, so please reach out. Let us know how Derek and I can help you with your barbecue journey. Get involved, stay curious, and follow us on social at Barbecue War Stories. We'll talk to you soon.